no countdown. I feel sad. Where's my countdown?
There's no countdown. You're live.
There's always a countdown. Starts at 6. Live. I'm not going to yell today.
Apparently not.
Live. I will be yelling probably later, but I'm not yet. Live from the J.P. Morgan Breakfast Nook.
Oh.
It's too late for breakfast. I don't know. Why are we there?
It's never
I don't
too
wanna
late
be
for
there.
breakfast.
It's a depressing version of the good game.
Maybe it's brunch.
Which we lovingly call the bad game. Can you do brunch on a weekday? That seems so bougie,
You
Ari.
can do brunch every day.
JP
Joined as
Morgan.
always by the Data Queen and the bored Sabermetrics guy. I'm Molten Lava. And today's methane-stained bag of Alabama-scented nuggets called September 22nd, 2022. The bad game. Come on. Let's do it. Let's depress everyone.
Yeah.
Stop smiling, Ari, because it's about to get depressing. Here we go.
Yeah.
I rounded up all the headlines that suck.
You always sell
And
it hard.
You two esteemed pundits are going to tell me on a scale from 1 to 10 how much they suck, how bad they are. You got that, Ari? Does that make sense now?
10 being the worst.
10 just life. It's terrible. I'm not waking up today. I'm not opening my blinds. I'm going to rub the brunch all over the back of my toilet.
All right, based on the headline.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got it.
usually
Whatever.
usually I actually read something about these headlines and annotate, like I'm prepared.
Yeah.
Today, because it's the
Cold
bad
reading.
game, I've done nothing.
Yeah, this is not about punditry. This is just reacting to how terrible the corporate world is or is not. And I think, Matt, Ari cheated and looked ahead. I think.
Ooh, all right.
No.
Do we have categories or are we just rumbling?
No. It's
Let's
all
rumble.
just nonsense. Come on, let's do it.
Right.
All right,
Ready?
here we go.
I'll start with this is the headline that made me want to create the game this week. This is a classic. This is an all-time Business Pants classic. Again, none of these headlines are made up. No embellishment. This is all real corporate behavior, and no anti-ESG world. The ESG actually does not know how to quantify any of this. So stop your hand wringing.
Who's hand wringing?
Actually, like when I read this next headline, actually the ESG world has no way of reducing your rating for it or whatever. So just stop your nonsense.
Oh,
all right, here we go.
Please.
All right, tell us.
This
So
is a
much-
classic.
So much context.
It can't get better than this. I almost feel sad that I'm leading off with this, but I just want to get you guys into the mood. And it's probably a story you've already heard, but I don't care. Here we go. In an all-time Businessman's classic, here's the headline. Beyond Meat COO arrested for biting man's nose after college football game. That's right. Ari,
When
it's
did-
true. At a
You know, I
plant-based
actually
food company, the
hadn't heard
COO is eating men's noses.
Doesn't he have like
discuss the headlines.
Yeah,
a
let's do it,
limited
Ari. Come on.
supply of Beyond Meat? So aggressive.
Actually, I like Ari's take that it's very aggressive. Not just because
You
it's
think?
obviously aggressive, but don't you associate that kind of behavior with men eating meat at sporting events?
This is
Yeah.
proof that there's no woke agenda, even at the wokest company possible. And I looked up his what do you call it? The shot, when you get your mug shot.
Your mugshot.
This guy is just a frat party goon. There is no woke agenda in the corporate world, people. Even your wokest companies have jerks at college football games eating other jerks' faces.
That's even.
And this is why I don't go to college football games.
I got a problem. And
Yes.
that my problem is you put this in the bad game.
Yeah, how bad is this when your COO is eating men's
Oh,
faces and getting
gross.
arrested for it? How bad is that, Matt?
For who? Because this is amazing for us. This is
Well, Beyond
This
Meat is
the
already
greatest.
having a lot of struggles. Its share price declining. This is gonna
Beyond
be
Meat's in Taco Bell now. They'll come back.
this is gonna be news. It's gonna be hard to battle. Ari, what do you think? Why don't you start us off? How
COO,
bad
that's
is this?
crazy.
COO.
This is pretty bad.
This is one of the top 5 named executive officers. This guy appears in the proxy statement. That's how awesome and famous he is.
Yeah. And now he's gonna show up to work after doing this is nuts. I'm gonna give this a 9.
Ooh,
Yeah,
a
what do you
9
do
on
with
the
this guy,
bad
Matt?
scale.
Is this guy
I'm-
get fired immediately? How does he survive this? But anyway, yeah, you go ahead. What's your score?
I think he got to work and they high-fived him that day, and they were like very stoked
No.
because
Really?
now what was a woke vegan-y like a
Oh, that's
lefty
true. I didn't think
liberal
about
company
that. That's
looks
true.
like it's full of tough men who don't care about like the now it's like if you are a rancher in Texas, you can be like, yeah, that Beyond Meat I thought was for lefty like weak liberals, but did you hear what the COO did? Smacked down a guy and ate him.
Now it's approved for tailgating. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
That's what
Beyond
I'm
yeah,
saying.
that might be one of your more brilliant takes. This is actually a premeditated anti-woke gesture.
An anti-woke gesture. This
All right, so what's your
wins
score?
everything.
Come
I give it a 0, which is the correct
Oh.
score because it's not bad. It's great.
Let's moving on. I put some robot headlines together for you. I got 3 robot headlines, dystopic robot headlines. First, meet Erica, the laughing robot designed to make AI more empathic. Number 2, Elon Musk is getting ready to unleash an army of humanoid robots. Number 3, Brazilian startup to launch weed-killing robots for U.S. farmers.
Laughing robot. Is that the first one?
To make AI more empathic.
It
What
would
do you think about
actually
that, Ari?
laugh? Oh, that's weird. I don't like that.
How bad
I
is
don't like
this?
that.
What about
Uh,
Elon Musk's army of humanoid robots? How does that make you feel, Ari?
I mean, that's expected. What else do we expect from Elon Musk?
That's
Obviously.
correct. He's just replacing humanity with robots and Mars.
Duh.
What about weed killing robots? So you're training AI and robots to kill things. What's next? You
No.
Ari? Are you next?
Look, I actually have a problem with the weed killing robots because crabgrass is considered a weed for people's lawns, right? Like people like don't like crabgrass to try to get rid of it. Except that crabgrass grows natively here. We're finding that our lawn, which is full of crabgrass, is like lush and green all summer because it holds water better, it's native, and it's happy.
Yeah, it grabs the soil mightily.
And so what are we trying to kill it for? Why not just tame it? Like
Not to
the
mention that
dog of grasses.
Not to mention that my dear father used to tell me about they used to eat dandelion greens regularly. They'd go outside and collect them for their meals, and now we consider that to be weeds.
Now
So
we're
what are we doing
sending
in
robots out to
America?
kill it.
We're killing food.
Like don't kill the plants because you don't like them.
All right, you're way off. You're way off track here. Somebody give me how bad is this, Ari? You go. Come
You
on.
gave us
how bad?
3 headlines. There's a lot to talk about.
Well, the laughing thing, I just can't get past that first headline. So I'm going to give this an 8.
Yes, I
Oof,
kind of knew.
oof.
Ari doesn't like fake laughter.
No.
No. Well,
They can't laugh. They don't know humor. Like, they don't.
does
they
Ari
don't
know real?
feel
Does
the
like real
laughter.
laughter? Does real laughter? Real laughter does make Ari? Does that make you cringe? I would say this is a 6, which is also the correct answer. So 2 for 2. I'm correct.
Moving on. Ooh, it's a Tesla headline. Tesla recalls almost 1.1 million vehicles that fail to detect fingers getting pinched in automatic windows. Ari, you
I
have
didn't
an
even
electric
know-
vehicle. What do you think about this?
I didn't know that cars detected fingers getting
I
pinched.
think I didn't know that either.
Well, they don't. They
I remember
don't.
my fingers getting pinched when I was a kid. I'm sure before this.
It's terrible.
technology.
Terrible feeling.
I mean,
I remember purposely
that's the
rolling
words.
the car window up
Yeah.
on people's
To pinch
fingers to
people.
pinch someone's fingers.
this is a rite of passage, and I can't believe they're doing a recall on this. So this is
You don't
dumb.
care.
I'm
Not
gonna
bad.
give this a 2.
But I think the idea is that this is not when you are manually rolling up your windows, Ari. This is when the automatic setting. So when you automatically roll it up. So it's supposed to detect whether there's a limb in the window.
Just
You don't care.
move your arm out. I don't know. Like,
Matt?
I don't know.
How do you feel?
For a recall?
Yeah,
whatever.
the game is confusing to me because this is
How bad is this?
this feels
It's
like
good.
bad for whom?
How
Like,
bad
it's
is this for
recall.
Tesla?
great for us discussing it.
How bad is it for Elon Musk? How bad is it for people with arms?
Look,
or
Elon Musk has
fingers?
already recalled like 90% of the cars that they've made for some
He
reason.
recalls
or another,
everything
right? Like it's
constantly.
just he recalls his deals to buy companies. He recalls his cars. He can't recall some of the things he said in the past. I don't think it's 5. It's 5. I don't care.
Moving on. Staffers say Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon has asked them to help with his DJ account. So imagine this, if you will. Imagine you're working at Goldman Sachs and your dopey
This is
CEO,
awesome.
DJ D-Sol, comes over and asks you to help him with his 8-track.
Remember
That's the
that song we played? Oh, I love it. I love this.
I would hate that so much. I would enjoy making fun of him later with my friends at work, but I would hate the ask. I would absolutely hate it.
This is a
is
no-win
zero. This
situation
is
if you're
best.
a staffer. And first of all, the staffers
Yep.
that you ask to do this, it's not the managing director and head of who's the head of fixed income.
No,
right?
it's
Like,
a dope like me.
it's literally a dope in the mailroom who the CEO was like, "Oh, dude, you play too? Oh,
it's
can you
someone
help
with
me
a
with my
tattoo."
album?" Like it's
Someone
the
with a tattoo.
it is the worst question you could get because the last thing you want is for the CEO to spend extra time with a guy who thinks he's a great
Exactly.
musician because he's the CEO of a company. I hate this. I hate it. It's a 100 out of 10.
How bad? Oh,
It's
what do you think?
terrible.
What? That's incorrect.
What do you think? Go ahead,
It's a
Ari.
great time for bonding for somebody that wouldn't have access to this person that could control their career path.
Wow.
So this is a 0.
I like this. This is a lean-in moment for Ari.
Yeah, Art just this is
This one's for Matt especially. Matt, you're going to love this one. Maybe you already know about it. I don't really care. I'm going to tell you about it. Here's the headline. What new ESG approach double materiality means and why JP Morgan is a fan. That's right, double materiality. Come on, Matt.
I hate
Double materiality.
I
Oh,
hate
boy.
it. We have so many words for so many stupid things.
Double.
We've doubled up double materiality. I know what it is. So it's supposed to be like, well, there's market financial materiality, and double materiality is financial plus it needs to have positive impact. It's like the other side. It's material.
Double
it's like
materiality.
but it's like can we just name it super extreme materiality and move on? Like it sounds like a early 90s, like you're selling me a new soft drink. Like, now with extra materiality, reality. Like, stop it.
No, double materiality.
So
Double
I'm giving this a
materiality.
9. Oh,
Materiality
and I'm correct.
plus.
Did you hear that?
Ari, what do you think?
This is so bad. This is so cringy. This is why people
It is.
dislike
cringy.
ESG. I'm gonna give this an 8.
Yeah.
Giving us bad.
You.
Nicely
This
done.
is the very reason why they dislike it. Moving on. Oh, this one.
One of the reasons.
I don't feel happy to read this headline, but I'm just reporting the horrible headlines that come out of the corporate world. This one is woman raped by CEO boss in hotel room on work night out, given
Oof.
£1 million in damages. You don't have to spend a lot of time on this one. Just how bad is it?
Can we
Go
just
quickly.
10? It's the
Horrible.
worst.
Can we go quickly?
Yeah,
Go quickly.
next.
10.
I don't want to talk
10.
about
Mo-
that.
Next, here's some Zuck headlines.
10.
I got 3 of them. The metaverse will unfold in 3 steps, and one is happening sooner than I thought, according to Zuck. Number 2, Zuck and his wife are expecting baby number 3.
They
Oh,
have 2
and-
babies? Whoa.
Yeah, and the third headline is that Trump's Facebook ban could be lifted as soon as January. Those are the 3 Zuck headlines.
Wow.
Feel free
Are
to go
you
quickly on this one,
kidding?
well,
Anybody?
my
A
problem.
1,000. Quite
1,000.
predictable that he was gonna lift Trump's ban
Oh,
though.
please
Yeah.
don't say it, Ari.
Well,
Also, the metaverse in 3 stages. Like he legitimately thinks, this is God creating the world in 7 days or whatever.
Oh,
it might be.
I like that analogy.
It might be.
It's
Yeah.
happening sooner than later. That's it.
Well, I don't like that
Okay.
Damien sandwiched in there like the kid
All the
because like
Well,
Hey, who
I did that
cares?
because he's got super voting shares.
I didn't even mention that.
He completely controls Meta, and now he has 3 dumb offspring to take it over. That doesn't make me feel good.
no, yeah, but like it's not the kid's fault. Like, and it's
But they're
I don't
going to
know.
take over Meta. eventually.
When they do, I will hate them. But for now, they're like
Okay, fair enough.
preschool.
Fair enough.
I don't care. But the other two are 10s.
Okay, moving on. September 21st, that was yesterday, was Black Women's Equal Pay Day. It shows how far America has to go to close the gender and racial wage gap. Now, I guess according to people like Vivek, we shouldn't be really even talking about this, right? This is not important. But go ahead.
Can you explain
Equal
what the
pay
wage
day
is?
Yeah, so what this means is it takes this long for black women to receive the same pay as their white male counterpart.
Yeah, but you have to go backwards, right? Because it's starting from January 2021.
Yes, exactly.
They would have to work.
So they'd have to work a full year, and then all the way to September 21st to earn equal pay for a white male colleague. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
but again,
terrible.
I don't know. According to the letters that Vivek wrote to Disney and Apple, this really isn't something that is important. No,
well, it also
but it
makes
sounds
me
bad
think
to me,
we're-
so I included it.
It makes me think we're overpaying Ari.
I don't know what that means. Someone throw a quick score on this. Come on.
10.
10. Matt?
Yeah, come on.
All right, let's just move on. This is a troubling one. This is for our corporate governance nerds. And this is another reason why I guess we shouldn't be talking about this, though, because the ESG scores are stupid. But how about this headline? 78% of Indian companies find it difficult to preserve corporate integrity in the face of changing market conditions. 78%. That doesn't sound right to me. That doesn't sound good.
That's shocking.
Can't even preserve corporate integrity. This is according to a report out of Ernst & Young.
Wait, so these companies actually said...
Yeah, they admitted it. You know, in these
wow,
surveys...
that's pretty good.
Yeah, in surveys you can get away with anything. You can say, like, I don't like the director who's black. Like, because there's no name attached to it, right? There's just surveys.
Except for the people who read the surveys.
That's true, like us.
Wow. This is concerning. I don't know. This is kind of alarming.
There's a use case for ESG scores right here. A use case.
Oh, man.
Anyone?
Right. I'm going to go with an 8.
Matt?
I can't decide if that's right or the buzzer seems to think you're right.
Right.
I'm gonna give you a 6.
Oh.
No, that's not. That's because
Not bad.
it's not that surprising to me or interesting to me.
That's true.
It's like
To be fair, I did debate deleting that headline at the last second. Here we go.
You should have.
All right, this one's especially for you. Duke Energy, the company Duke Energy, is leaking a potent climate warming gas at more than 5 times the rate of other utilities.
wow.
Who
Again,
are these
another-
people? 10.
Another reason why
Shut
we
them
don't
down.
need ESG industry, because why do we need to know this? Why is this important? We shouldn't know this about corporate. Why? I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, but
why
what
do
you
we need
should-
oversight of our corporations? It's dumb.
Like, this is why board sabermetrics exists, because do you know, like, the people on the Duke Energy board? Do you know them? Because we do. Like, we know that Lynn Good is also a director at other places, and she
We know this
oversees
stuff.
Duke Energy, and she has influence on other boards that also suck at carbon and leaking things, because apparently they don't care. So what it is a 10 for the environment and
Yes.
a negative 1,000 for board sabermetrics in terms
Oh,
of
how do
badness,
I-
because you absolutely have to buy our stuff in order to figure out who is leaking, not what is leaking. I'm just giving
Give it a 10
myself.
anyway.
Luckiest directors.
Let's listen to that
Moving on. Here we
reaction.
go. Here's the headline. This is the actual headline. Oops. Morgan Stanley pays $35 million fine after customer data, including private medical records, turns up after unencrypted, unwiped hard drives are auctioned to IT consultant in Oklahoma.
Yeah, it was like a guy named Gus.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. It was literally.
What do you think about that, Ari? You don't like stuff like that. I don't, Ari. I
No,
feel like
this
this
is
is right up your
horrible.
alley. Yeah.
They
What's wrong
have
with
a-
Morgan Stanley? Why can't they erase hard drives before they're selling them?
They have all the money, they have all the structure, all the resources to wipe their crap before it ends up being auctioned. This is a 10. This is
Oh, I
terrible.
like it. Matt,
Mm.
Matt doesn't
No,
care.
it's not quite a 10. Come on. This is par for the course. This isn't the first time. In fact, there was a case maybe
Maybe that makes
6
it a
years
10.
ago I think it was Wells Fargo, but I might be wrong about the company. It might have actually been Morgan Stanley, where in the back of a truck, they were loading in all of the hard drives, and somebody just took them out of the truck.
Probably Wells Fargo.
Walked away. So I'm going to go with this is entirely within scope of purview. This should be, and the fine they paid suggests this wasn't that big a deal, because what was the fine? It was like $26 million?
$35 million.
$35 million. $35 million is roughly what the CEO makes. So tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of customers' personal information is worth
including
less
private medical records
than 1 year of the CEO's compensation. That's how much you're valued. Everything about you is valued less than one guy. That's it.
Sounds like a 10. What's your score?
It's a 5 because I understand
5.
this to be reality. This
Okay,
is the reality we live in.
Here's another juicy one. And I mean, really, this is a very sensational headline, but again, this is all real. Here you go, Ari. Judge rules Charter must pay $1.1 billion after murder of cable customer.
Whoa.
What
Did you say billion?
What the hell is going on at Charter? And is this what they mean when they say cable is dead? I don't understand. What is this? What is this?
No
What's
puns.
happening?
This is a no pun
It's
zone.
like a cable guy showed up to their house pretending
I don't know
to be
what's
from
going on.
Charter and then killed someone.
I honestly
Whoa.
don't know what's going on. I don't like the way any of this sounds.
This sounds really bad. And 1.2 billion with a B.
Yeah, and that's a final ruling because that was actually lowered from a $7 billion award.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is a
So
big
they're
deal.
saying that the
Just a
judge is
number.
saying that Charter is liable. So there you go.
All right,
Cable
I'll
companies
give
are
this
Who's
a
the
10.
person who was killed? Do we know?
What I think is that the cable guy, who we're all kind of afraid of, the smelly cable guy showed up to fix the cable and then murdered the customer. That's essentially the story.
It was
This is the bad game, Matt. Catch up with the times. It's the bad game.
Yeah, I'm going to give this a 10.
Okay. It does sound terrible.
I mean, is there a way to not give this a 10?
No.
Wow.
That's
I didn't
bad,
even know
yeah.
this happened. All right, can we move on to something less depressing than that? Do you have any
Okay,
nines?
probably
in there?
not.
This
Oh,
is
this
a
one's
bad
kind
game.
of this one's kind of silly and quirky. I have some silly and quirky ones coming up. Here we go. Honda said to its employees, "Oops, we miscounted your bonus. Please give some of it back." Is that how bad is that, Ari? I think they
That's
should
really
keep the,
bad.
They should keep the damn money.
I
frankly,
haven't
but-
heard of that happening before.
Yeah. How about the
Uh,
fact that we have two headlines that have the actual word "oops" in it? Good
I
work,
know.
business news.
So Britney Spears. I'm going to give this a 10.
Oh,
Yeah, because what?
wait a minute.
Keep the money.
That's
We
bad.
cannot say
It
that
is
the
bad. It is
murder
bad.
of a person
No,
is
we're not.
equal
That's not
to,
how this
that
game
is-
works.
No, that is
Each
you
headline
just scored it that
exists
way.
on its own.
You just
it's not
scored
how
it
this
that
game
way.
works.
I'm sorry. You have to give context to this.
It's not contextual to other stories.
This is, first of all, it's wrong anyway because it's amazing. Because can you imagine? Now, imagine if the CEO of Honda came to you and wanted to cut a record with you, and then while you were in the recording studio, had to say, "Oh, can you give me back some of your bonus?" Right? Like everything about it, I can just imagine unfolding in the most amazing ways. So, just for the sheer amazingness of the story, I'm going with a 3.
Moving
And,
on.
Buzzer agrees with me. I don't know how that keeps happening, but it does.
Ari,
Yeah.
kids are waking up in the night to check their notifications and are
Oh.
losing about 1 night's worth of sleep a week.
This is horrible.
I
This
feel
is
like
worse
this
than bad.
this is the subtle pathway to the metaverse. Stories like this. Nobody realizes that this is what's going to get us to the metaverse more quickly.
Kids gotta shut off their phones and leave them in
Not
their
gonna happen, Ari.
backpack
Stop.
outside their
Not gonna
bedroom.
happen.
What is going on here?
Not going to happen.
What do you mean?
I think this is the very gradual stage of leaving our physical bodies behind. The next stage will be meta diapers, and then we're gonna turn in our bodies for some weird metaverse
Storage.
existence.
It's the Matrix.
This
In
is
the
also
metaverse, you don't have to go to bed. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You don't have to regenerate. You just check your notifications all the time. It'll be beautiful.
just a zombie-like state at all times.
Exactly. What's the score here?
10.
Matt?
So, this is as bad as a cable guy murdering somebody to me. This has the same amount, so it's 10. Yeah.
Well, plenty of medical studies do attach disease to your amount of sleep you get. So
Yeah.
there you go. Oh, we got some Uber headlines. Here we go. 2 Uber
God.
headlines. First,
Just 10
Uber was breached to its core purportedly by an 18-year-old. And 2, report of sexual assault by Uber driver in Bangor highlights national trend. Ugh. So 2 stories out of Uber.
Well,
That's how
one
easy it is, Ari, to breach a major corporation to its core. All you need is an 18-year-old. That's all you need.
What does that mean, breach to its core?
I guess they penetrated their security system, their network, and they got all the way in. I guess everything.
That's impressive.
I mean,
So far in that Travis Kalanick is the CEO again. That's how far in they got.
Isn't it a binary? It's like you're in or you're not in. I didn't know that there
I
was
have no
cores.
idea.
I thought like that only
Layers.
happened
It's
in
like an
anime
onion.
movies. Yeah,
Well, this
like
did
what-
come out of a very techie website, so maybe they're just very techie. This is from Ars Technica.
I don't expect anything less from Uber, so I'm gonna give this a 4.
Wow, wrong.
Uber
okay, I
stinks.
understand
We
that.
know this.
That's okay. I don't get how that scoring works though. But go ahead, Matt.
My problem with this is the assault of Uber drivers. The Uber drivers are fake employees, right? Like just like being a fake
True.
public company.
Gig workers.
The gig workers are moral hazard employees, as in we all have to deal with the fallout, not Uber. So that's the bad part. I'm going to give it a 7. Every time. It agrees.
And lost in those scores, Ari, you gave a great reason why the ESG ratings industry should shut down immediately, because you see what she did there. Because she expects Uber to suck, it got a 4. But see how she perverted all the ESG ratings just in that one move. It should get a 10, but see what she did there. Completely subjective.
You're perverse.
Terrible. You just ruined the ESG industry completely for you.
It's your fault.
Single-handedly.
Next headline. Only 3 more. And I'll set you
thank
free. 3 more in the bad game.
It's the
Chick-fil-A apologizes for spicy nuggets tweet to black man some say had racial undertones.
You have to read the tweet.
Fine. A black man commenting on the return of a grilled spicy deluxe sandwich said, "Grilled spicy deluxe, but still no spicy nuggets." And then the company itself responded, "Your community will be the first to know if spicy items are added to the permanent menu." Your community.
How that
Now,
was
say
racist?
what you will, Matt.
That's
what you
kind of a weird
will.
response, though.
It's a
The
weird
company
response.
did apologize. The company apologized. So does that admission of guilt?
But did they
Is it
literally
basically saying
know
they're racist?
which community he was coming from?
Why, he's either
and I don't
representing
mean
the
the black community. I
or
meant
a male
where
community.
he lived.
I don't know. Again,
Right,
this
but
is the-
either way,
yeah.
how do
How
they
bad is
know
this?
which
Maybe it's not that
community
bad.
it is? And if they do know what community it is, that's creepy.
Well, I mean, they could have just meant like outside Pittsburgh.
Chick-fil-A
right? Like,
eaters.
I'm
Who says that though?
confused.
Your community. It isn't your community code for
It
you
could have
people.
been. Look, I agree. It's not the best way to say that, but it could have been just reading that without much context.
Yeah.
It could have been literally the global your community, as in all the communities, will be informed.
Oh, Matt.
See what I'm saying?
This is very awkward copywriting. I hate it. So I'm going to give
my
it
break-
a 7.
Can someone please hit the breaking news sound effect for me?
The sound effects went down on. On
okay.
It just went totally down.
Breaking news, Matt. Dilbert writer Scott Adams is weighing in on this headline. I guess the black man in question identifies as white.
Oh no!
So I can't
Not
do any of my-
again.
Can't do any of my sound effects to make that terrible joke
I
funnier.
know.
Okay, so maybe it's not that bad. What do you think? Give me a score.
I give it a 7. It was just.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of racist.
I mean, no,
Are
I'm
we
not
saying
saying
it's
it's
kind of
racist. I'm just saying that is an awkward way to.
It's awkward. All right,
tweet.
Matt.
Yeah, it's awkward.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
Like, who
Next,
talks like that?
SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment CEO does not meet with black families snubbed by mascot after saying he'd fly anywhere to meet them. And I guess they're super pissed. So
What
the
a jerk.
SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment CEO is under fire for promising to meet a black family to apologize, but then not showing up. What do you think? How bad is this?
Bunch of jerks. Also, isn't SeaWorld like horrible? So I
Yeah.
don't know how I feel about this. Overall,
Yeah.
bad. So
Yeah.
8.
Wait, so Ubers are horrible and you give them a 4. I don't understand your logic. You are, see, you're bringing down ESG industry. Bring it down.
I mean, he was busy.
Why do you have to say? Why did he have to say he'd fly anywhere to meet them? Why do you have to say that?
Why
That's
say?
what they're wondering.
Why say
Why say
anything at all?
anything?
Don't apologize. Just don't even bother. If you're not gonna if you know you're not gonna show up anyway, or
Yeah,
you're busy or whatever.
He said he'd fly anywhere to meet your community. That's what he said.
Oh, then it's definitely a 9. It's a 9.
Okay. And finally, in the bad game for September 22nd, 2022, let's end on a silly note, although I would really hate this if this happened to me on my flight. Southwest Airlines and Guitar Center are getting roasted for a stunt that involved giving a ukulele to every passenger on a flight from LA to Honolulu. How bad is that? That sounds
What?
terrible to me. That's like my worst
That
nightmare.
sounds awesome. I want
Oh.
one. Do they get to keep it?
Oh, how bad, Ari? You giving it
No,
a 0?
this is
You like
great.
this?
This is a 0.
Until all those snotty 8-year-olds start playing the ukulele for 2 straight hours.
It's okay.
Does everyone
You
know
got
how
your
big a
headphones.
ukulele is? Like they're
Yeah, I'm
leaving
aware.
luggage behind because they
aware.
can't they can't fit it in overhead compartments.
They're not very heavy though.
but they're like
They take up
2
space.
feet. They're bulky. Where are the kids putting it? What is happening? Why
No, everybody.
is this
Every
happening?
passenger. Every passenger.
You know, it may be somebody's first instrument ever.
No,
This is
this
great.
is the musical equivalent of handing out styrofoam containers of Chinese food on a Greyhound bus to Boston.
Ugh.
That's what this is the musical equivalent of that.
Oh,
There's nothing worse than
He's right,
having
actually.
to smell that smell or listen to jackasses who don't know how to make music rip open their ukulele on a
Give it to them
tube
as their
30,000
parting gift.
feet above
Yeah. Ari.
the ocean.
why can't you give it to them as they're leaving the plane? Like, thank you
Yes.
for flying with us today. Here's
Here
your
you
ukulele.
go. Here's a ukulele.
Yeah.
Go annoy
A
your
favor.
parents at home.
You're gonna throw it
A
away in
flight
10
favor.
days. Have fun with it.
Do not give it to them on the plane. This is nearly as bad as murdering
here we
a cable customer. This is terrible. I
So a
hate
9?
it. It's a
You
10.
guys just got so
Giving
get
it
off
a
my
10.
lawn right now.
Okay,
It's a
let's wrap up
10.
the scores. Ari, you came in with an 8.2, Matt with a 7.4. I don't know what does that even mean? What does that the scores even mean?
I thought
Means Ari
everything
thinks
was bad.
Everything is terrible.
Terrible.
Means Ari is
Except for
everything is
Uber,
bad.
I guess.
Okay. That's it. That's the bad game.
Bad. That's the bad game.
And we have no sound effects, no music.
We do have music, just you can't hear it. I can hear it. Nobody else can. So that was the bad game. It's Damian Rollis and Ari the Data Queen. I'm Matt Muscardi. We are free float. If you like this, come back tomorrow where we're going to wrap up the week. And we're going to do
Here
it
we are.
for 6 or 7 hours. We'll do it
we are.
live. You know, we do this all the time. So come back and listen to
Yeah,
it
if
until...
Dilbert gets to be a thing, we can be a thing too.
Yeah, someday we'll be a thing. Tell your mom. Until then,
I don't know about that.
goodbye.